Hey guys, so today I want to talk about prismatic evolutions and why the hype is actually getting more ridiculous seemingly every single day, and why I think it's probably best if you can get in on pre-orders or find stuff at MSRP to scoop it up. But before we get into that, I just want to say I hope you guys all had a Merry Christmas, you spent time with your family, you relaxed a bit, and also we got to talk about Fusion Strike a little bit too. So first thing, if you're in Canada, Pokemon Center Canada, I guess in the US, has free shipping on all orders until tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m., which means you probably have even a better opportunity to pick up the Build and Battle stadiums and the Build and Battle kits right now. Obviously, you guys know if you're in Canada, we have to spend $10 shipping on every single order. So if you were going to buy these, it would probably make sense to get the mini portfolios as well. But right now, you could just buy two of the Build and Battle kits, two in the Build and Battle stadiums, and then just place your order and keep replacing orders without getting the mini portfolios. The reason why I favor these over the mini portfolios is just because they do have a bit of value as a sealed product as well, not just the loose pack, basically, which is the mini portfolio. You're probably not going to be able to see this overlay, but I did check this morning with the stock tracker. There are about 9,000 of the mini portfolios left on the site. There was 20,000 plus a week ago. I think those are going to be gone within a week or two. And then the build and battle kits, there are 2,600 to 2,700 in that range. And the build and battle stadiums, there's 1,350 to 1,400. So I think all of this is going to be gone within a week. And if we look at the booster box, this thing is just continuing to take off. The most recent sale is $400 USD from today, guys. Insane. Yesterday there was one 330, 385, 365. So I think that we're going to see this box push $400 probably within the next month or two if this hype continues. And if that happens, right, if you take the loose pack value at MSRP on the Pokemon Center right now and compare it to the booster box pack value at $400, it's 42 to 43% ratio, which is very, very low. That's not sustainable. So either what's going to happen is the booster box price is going to come back down, or these ancillary products with pack value essentially bringing up the cost of the item, that's going to rise. So we're going to see these build and battle stadiums kits and those mini portfolios be bought up very, very quickly. I think everything's going to be gone probably within another week or so at the rate that things have been bought up this week. So if you're in Canada today and tomorrow before midnight, I would recommend getting some of these. I'm going to be buying more of these, but I can't be buying too many, right? Because I did actually get in on some Prismatic Evolutions ETB pre-orders from Walmart over the past couple days. So last night I was up at 3 a.m. or whatever it was, because Walmart's been restocking between 2 and 3 a.m. A lot of these nights. So I figured I'd just kind of ride it out until I got some solid pre-orders. I did get a couple ETBs the other morning. But I wanted to try and get 10 to see if I'd be able to get a case. And I'm not sure if they're going to come in a sealed case or not. But I did manage to order 10. And then a couple minutes later, they did get restocked. And I managed to get another 10 as well. So I think I'm going to have like 30 ETBs, regular ETBs at this point, if my Cans and Games ones are honored. Which again, like once I know for sure, I will talk about that. But the interesting thing, right? If you look at the PCTBs, these have kind of gone sideways. If you look at the booster bundles and surprise boxes, they're all kind of doing the same thing. They're not continuing to rise in value. The prices are still insane. Like one PCETB is selling for basically $400, somewhere between $380 and $400. You do have a few cheaper ones here down at around $300, but this is a $400 PCETB right now, which is insane. I got two boxes pre-ordered, so I think I'm going to sell one and keep one at this price. I mean, I'm into it for like $70 USD, right? So if I can 5x my money on one of these, it just makes sense, and I'll keep the other one. The booster bundles, these are going for about $70 USD, and they are selling in that range. Same thing with the surprise boxes. These are going for about 63, which is crazy considering MSRP on some of these. And it is selling consistently, multiple every single day. But the ETBs, this is where things get interesting. Just the regular ones, right? So over the past week or so, we've seen a lot of pre-orders through Walmart for these ETBs. Thousands have been pre-ordered in Canada and in the US. And, my kind of thought process was when these are getting pre-ordered at MSRP, right, which is 79.92 Canadian. So like $80 Canadian, 60, 65 USD, whatever it is, maybe even a bit less than that, right? 55, something like that. I figured that would probably be bringing this overall value down, right? If there's so many pre-orders hitting the market at MSRP. Well, over the past couple days, the elite trainer boxes have actually risen in price. So if you go in to the sales and you scroll back to maybe, I don't know, the 24th, you do have to go a long, long way back, guys. That was all basically yesterday, Christmas Day. But you go back to the 24th, you had a lot of sales in that 110 range, 104 range, 105 range, a lot there. And then once you get into Christmas Day, things kind of spike. You have one sale here at 113, and then it hops to 117. And basically everything, you do have some sales in that 113, but most of these sales are in that 118 range, 117.93. And it just continues that way throughout the entire day and into Boxing Day. We're now at 118 still. You do have a couple in that 114, 113 range, but most of these sales are at 118, and that's like 20, 30, 40 over the past day or two each day. So with so many pre-orders hitting the market, we're still not seeing the price of the regular ETBs come down. Now that can change over, maybe the next couple weeks. Maybe people that pre-ordered through Walmart and stuff like that aren't putting their pre-orders up yet. They want to make sure they get their product. But I kind of expect it to shift a bit faster. So we will keep an eye on this. But the reason why I think gaining at MSRP is going to be a great move. And to use a case study, I want to talk about 151, right? So if you guys remember maybe a year ago, maybe even less than a year ago, but say a year ago, right? This time last year, you could find 151 in most retail stores, right? And at that time, buying the ETBs in Walmart, in Target, didn't make sense because most third-party sites carried these ETBs cheaper than MSRP at the time. And I remember buying a few of these, and I always thought there was going to be a reprint. 151 reprint didn't come. I've been blessed to get some of the booster bundle restock, so I'm not too salty. But my point is that when you compare 151 to Prismatic Evolutions, right? So here's the 151 card set. You have the Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. You have some decent mid-tier stuff like the Zapdos, Charmander, Squirtle, Alakazam, Bulbasaur, Charmeleon, Ivysaur, like all the evolution lines. The Pikachu in there. The Dragonair's decent. So you have some decent mid-tier depth, right? But when you compare it to Prismatic Evolutions, obviously, it doesn't even compare, right? You have all the evolutions. You're gonna have the Leafeon, Flareon, Vaporeon, Glaceon, Jolteon, all of them. Not to mention the Umbreon, which is probably gonna be double the price of the Charizard. Charizard's $200. I think this Umbreon at minimum is gonna be $400. Again, it depends on pull rates, but I would not be surprised if this is a $400 card out the gate. Could even be higher, right? $500-$600. Like who knows? It will depend on those pull rates, but that card is going to be incredibly expensive. The Espeon, I think, is going to be expensive. Sylveon will be up there as well. And then Leafeon will probably be like the fourth highest, I imagine. Then you'll have, Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Glaceon kind of fading a little bit behind, but still, they're going to have value. Some of these, Raging Bolt, Roaring Moon, Iron Valiant, those might have some value as well. The Eevee, the regular Eevee, that will be in there. I don't think any of these trainer cards will be anything crazy. Same thing with the golds. Maybe the Pikachu has a bit of value, but point being, right, like Prismatic is so much deeper than 151. The top hits arguably are going to be better, and by better I mean more expensive, right? Like if you look at the artworks, maybe people want the Charizard more, the Blastoise, whatever, but they're going to be more expensive more than likely. So when you compare 151 a year ago, when you could have bought it, even if you bought it MSRP a year ago, right? You bought these ETBs at $55, $60 USD, you'd be doing pretty well. You'd be up over 100% within the year. And as you can see, like Pokemon's just taken off. This box has taken off. I cannot imagine that anything different will happen with Prismatic Evolutions and that this box is somehow going to be below MSRP at some point throughout the year. I think people are going to be fighting to get restocks and orders at MSRP. I do think that people in stores will be fighting over these ETBs on the shelves to get them. It's going to be an absolutely crazy set. So if you do get a chance to get some pre-orders in, through Walmart or something at MSRP, I think you're going to be winning long term. That's just my opinion. Even in the short term, right? Like I think there's going to be a play to flip these within a couple months throughout 2025. I think you'll be fine doing that. But outside of that, getting booster bundles, sure, if you can find a sealed display. I'm going to be keeping my eye out for probably a sealed display, probably some surprise boxes, and then the super premium collection when that comes halfway through the year or whatnot. So that's kind of the video. Prismatic Evolutions, the ETBs just continue to rise in price, even though the pre-orders are coming out right now, and everyone's buying them up thousands every single day and week. It's still raising the price, which is insane. Outside of that, guys, Fusion Strike is continuing to take off. So take advantage of the Pokemon Center right now. Buy out these products, because they're not going to be available outside of the next week. I don't think this time next week or very early next year, the Fusion Strike stuff will be gone. So that's all I had in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you got some value out of this content, I'd really appreciate it if you leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. With that said, stay safe wherever you are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.